Hello everybody, welcome back to Ursa Minor Sewing, where today we are going to be working on part 2 of the truly Victorian 1860 round cage crinoline. Hopefully in this video I'm going to be able to get all of the cutting and the marking done, but we'll see. It's probably going to be just cutting. So let's just jump right into it and see how it all works. Okay, so I've got my fabric and my pattern piece set up here. This pattern piece calls for me to cut 3 of them on the fold line, and I have my grain line set up so that it is parallel to my selvage edge of the fabric. You can pin this, but because this paper is so tough, I'm going to be using a rotary cutter and a straight edge. And to hold everything in place, you can use Tailor weights, but I don't have Tailor's weights, so I'm going to be using tuna cans. Okay. And once I have all these cut out, I'll do all of the marking. So I'm just going to show you how to cut the first one, and then I'll do the other 2 off camera so that I save some screen time. If you're using a rotary cutter and a straight edge, you really have to make sure that the edge of your cutter is tightly pressed against the straight edge, otherwise it zooms off on you like I just did there, and you get a crooked cut. Okay, so there's piece number 1, and I'm going to stop the camera now and cut the other 2 pieces, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got all 3 of my pieces cut out. Now I need to transfer the markings from my pattern to my piece, and for this you're going to need some transfer paper or tracing paper. This has wax on it that will transfer from it to the fabric when pressure is applied, and a tracing wheel. Just grab a couple chunks here. So you want to double up, one face down, one face up, just like that. Then you're going to slip them between your pieces of fabric, just like this. Make sure all your edges line up. And we're going to lay our fabric down, or our pattern down, sorry. Like that, and then using my straight edge again, line it up along the line that I want to trace, and sorry, you're going to see my head in the middle of the screen. Line this up, and using your tracing wheel, just trace out a line. And you're going to transfer all the markings that you see on this page. Fold this back and you'll probably see, don't know, you probably can't see, but my lines are right here. Oh, zoom in a bit for you guys. See, there's my lines. You'll notice that they don't come all the way to the end. When you solve that problem, is you can either go back over them again with the tracing paper, or you can just come in really quick with fabric marker. This one is water erasable. And just take your ruler, line it up, and draw the remainder of the line in. And that's how you transfer those markings. So I'm going to go off camera again and do that to my other two pieces, and I'll be right back. So the next thing we have to do now that we've got all of our bag pieces cut out and marked is cut out the support pieces from the grosgrain ribbon and get them marked. And this pattern piece calls for 8 pieces of ribbon cut on a fold. You just take your ribbon and lay your piece out like that. Come up here, fold it over. Make sure it's the right length. Now just using this length, I'm going to cut all of these into 8 chunks. Well, 7 more pieces. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I didn't need as much ribbon as it said on the back. Okay, so there's that. Now we just gotta mark it. You take your piece, fold it in half, and with this one you may want to pin it. I'm going to pin it at the fold line. Like that. Set it diagonally here. And just lay your pattern on. And with this, you only have to mark on one side. I'm just going to take my piece of marking paper here, lay it down, lay this on top. Take my tracing wheel mark out the hoop lines, or the stitch lines. You don't need a ruler for this because it's such a small space. You don't want to press too hard with this tracing wheel either, because serrated edge will cut your paper. And when I take it away, there you go, all marked. So again, I'm going to go off camera and finish the other 8 pieces, and I'll be right back. So here's all the pieces, all cut out and marked. One thing I didn't show you is that on the edge of these pieces here, there's 2 triangles, and I just gave them a little snip to mark them so that I could line up the 2 triangles later. Another thing that I did off camera is I came along with the bottom of these. I didn't do it to these ones. And just to keep them from fraying while I'm working with them, gave them just a little sear on the bottom so that it melts and won't fray while you're handling it, because this stuff, because it's woven the same way as satin, the more you touch it, the more it wants to fall apart after you've cut it. So there it all is. So that's it for part 2. You got to see all the cutting and marking for the pieces. In part 3, we're going to start working on the construction. I think part 3 is going to be getting the bag portion put together, and then I'm thinking that the hoop supports and hoop casing are going to be part 4. We'll see how everything fits into the 10-minute time frame. So until then, happy sewing, everybody.